So today I'm behind the wheel of the 2021 Mercedes AMG GLE 53 Coupe, and I'm going to showcase all the features of the interior of this beautiful thing. So let's get to it. So like normal, I'm going to start from left to right. So over on the left, you've got your normal door locks, which are recessed inside the door handle. Window switches, your rear mirror settings to adjust the rear mirrors. Your seat settings are up here on the door, which is a lot more efficient than reaching down, figuring out what your, where the actual switch you want is. So you have multiple options to change, and you have 3 presets. You can set the 3 different drivers or 3 different modes for one driver if you wish. You've got your heated AC seats, and then also for the rear adjust. You got your speakers. You have a trunk latch right there. You got your parking brake. You've got some light settings, and for the gauge cluster, the dim level of them. Moving to the gauge cluster, this is one of the most beautiful things of the interior. You got this nice, crisp, clear display. You can switch it between multiple options of a normal screen, a more performance-oriented screen, which I have here. But I like this screen better because if you're in an AMG, you might as well showcase that. And there is a lot of different things you can customize in these screens. So, for example, you can go to trip and see trip information, consumption, see what radio options, what stations you're on, things of that nature, media. You can select what display options you want to see. So let's go to, I was just describing a normal screen. This would be just a comfort screen. Change it to sport for you. This is a more sporty screen, and then I'll change it to the understated, and then go back to the super sport, which I had it on. This is the understated. Takes away a lot of the numerical values. The screen I normally leave it on is the super sport screen, which makes it really sporty. You get a nice tack. Basically, you see the tack twice because the screen that I normally leave it on is the AMG performance screen, and I normally leave it on this screen. So basically, you see the tack twice. You see it as a gauge and then as a bar graph. But on this screen, you can see your boost levels, much horsepower, torque. Basically shows you every setting that you have. I basically have this currently in basically the most nutty mode, and I'll show how you change those as well. And you get a G-force meter. It's pretty cool. Taking a step back, how I was adjusting all of that is the buttons over here on the on the left, sorry. Push this home button, and that is how you get between all of these options. There's also a heads-up display. I have it turned off, but you would then be able to go up and change the settings on the heads-up display. And this little black dot on both sides is not a button. It's kind of like a touch-sensitive slider. So you just slide it or your finger across it in the direction you want it to go. So I just leave it in this screen. Below that, you've got cruise control, settings. Over on the right, that black button and that home control the nav screen, which I'll showcase in a second. Taking a farther step back, this thing has the nice AMG performance steering wheel, which features buttons that have their own screens, and that's really cool. I hate to have to fix these ever. Hopefully they never break, but so you have the auto start stop. You can push it and turn it off. This is the button for suspension, so it's changing some things on the screen, but you got comfort, sport, sport plus, and then this is basically for the modes. So you heard the car go a little quieter. So comfort, sport, it's a little louder, and then sport plus, you'll hear the most audible change. And the steering wheel is wrapped in an Alcantara material, and you got black leather around the 12 o'clock position, so when you're driving, you know where it is. You got nice paddles on the back of the steering wheel for going down and up the gear. The start stop button is hidden right behind the steering wheel, right there. And then there's also an auto start stop button to the right of that. Moving to the nav screen, one of the best things to note before I move to the nav screen is this looks like just one long screen, just the way that the steering wheel cuts this spot from the driver's eye. It kind of looks like one long screen, but it's actually two screens. So going home, there's so many things that you can do with this screen. So going all the way to the right, you got phone, navigation, radio, media, comfort. Let's click on comfort for a second. You can have hot relaxing back massage, hot relaxing shoulder massage, active classic massage, a wave massage. There's no way you could not be comfortable driving this thing. Go back home. So you have some track apps. It's kind of cool, but it's not as useful on the roads, because as soon as you push the button, you will see. You get a warning, use this on racetracks only. I'll let it disappear for a second. But basically, the system will know when you're near a racetrack, which is really cool. But there's also options for measuring how fast you're going in a drag race, showing off telemetry, things of that nature. And you can connect this to your TrackPace app. One very useful thing that I always have my screen set to is the AMG performance screens. So you can select your drive modes from here, but then it'll also show you different performance related screens, showing you acceleration, braking, your G-forces, showing you the angle of the vehicle, and just showing it close up. The screen I usually leave it on is the engine screen, because I like to see how much horsepower is being used, how much torque is being used by my right foot going down. I like to see the engine oil temps and the trans oil temps. And then you also see your fuel consumption, obviously really bad because I'm just sitting with the car on in a parking lot. You got Mercedes Me apps, restaurants, cafes, things like that. I don't have a smartphone connected at the moment. And then you have all the settings that you can change in this vehicle. So quick access is really useful because I don't really like seeing HUDs when I'm filming some point of view footage, because it kind of distorts it. So it's nice that I can just turn that off. Lane assist buttons, sometimes there's a lot of roads in my area that the lines aren't exactly printed nicely on the roads anymore, and the system likes to warn me that, hey, I'm not in the lane when I am in the lane. And that's nothing against the system, it's just kind of more against my roads. But you can change all sorts of things in the vehicle. The lighting, you can have, you search for your gas station, ambient lighting. So at night, there's where my finger is basically tracing, it will be illuminated, and you can change the color of that. So right now it's ocean blue. You can have any of these colors to be illuminated. And energizing comfort, all this fun stuff. But normally I just leave it right here. Going down from that, you got your fence, and you have climate control settings right here. One of the cool things is you got your basically your temperature control. You can see it changing up there, but if you want to skip straight to the climate settings on top, just push this down, and there you are. Hazards right here in the middle. So this is nice hidden compartment, which reveals a charge mat, 2 cup holders. You got a USB-C spots right there, and then bring you a little closer, you have a nice cool refrigerator button. What that does is you put your soda here, and this is going to keep you cold. It's actually already cold without being on. Here you have a bunch of buttons to control quick access. So for example, this is a quick access to the drive modes. This is a volume control, which there's also a volume control on the steering wheel. You got a quick button for nav and map, radio, quick phone button, favorites button. This gets you to the settings quicker. This is for park screens, so I push that and you see you can get a view, any view you want, all around the car. Right now I'm in an empty parking lot, but it's cool. Back here you have a strip of options that pretty much change specific things in a drive mode. So for example, this is, you flip this and then you're going to be in a manual mode to use the paddles in the back. This traction control off. This is the suspension button, and this is to make the vehicle louder if you would like. So what that goes between is balanced and powerful, whereas the suspension can go between comfort, sport, and sport plus. But of course we want powerful, we want it louder, right? Here you have a nice little button that reveals a cubby hole with USB plug right here. Give you a shot of the passenger seat. Glove box. Cool thing in the glove box is it features like a fragrance system in the vehicle to keep it smelling nice. Seats feature AMG branding. Give you a shot of the rear seats. Features a sunroof. The sun peeking through at the moment. Sunroof controls. And there you pretty much have the interior. So I hope you liked this quick video showcasing the interior of the GLE 53 Coupe. Thanks for watching.